Replica Screenprinting is Kentucky's top woman-owned custom apparel shop specializing in high-end, intricate prints.
That's one thing I wanted to do when we took over the business. I wanted to be a high-end printer. I wanted to take jobs that other shops wouldn't take.
And while they service clients across the country, they pride themselves in being immersed in their local community.
Well, this is a great event for our town, and so we wanted to have the best design possible. So today we're going to be showing you this woodcut design that shows all about our area and our town and everything that's great about this event.
Season 4 of Jersey's Adventures in Apparel Decorating is underway. Today, we're exploring Cave City, Kentucky, home of Replica Screenprinting. Since 2005, they built their business on cultivating long-term relationships with their customers. In this episode, they'll flex their muscle and show us how they create and print sought-after fanwear for one of their community's largest annual events. We're at Replica Screenprinting, where they found their niche, focusing on high-end creative designs. Let's go inside and meet the team. Every great community event needs a great shirt, and today we're at Replica Screenprinting with Heather Strebel. Let's talk about the importance of having that great merch.
Well, this is a great event for our town, and so we wanted to have the best design possible. So today we're going to be showing you this woodcut design that shows all about our area and our town and everything that's great about this event.
Do you sell these at the event?
Yes, so we have around 1,000 to 2,000 people come for this event every month, and we have a huge merch tent that we've set up, and we sell these shirts out of that.
And how important is it to sell merch at the event? Where does the money go? What are you doing with that?
Cars and Coffee is put on by a local business group, BLDG, and all of the money that we raise through the Cars and Coffee event goes to that group to do things within the town.
Let's talk about your business here. Tell us the history of Replica.
Well, I was in the printing industry for many years and started working for a screen printing lady that owned Replica. And I worked with her for about 6 years, and then my mom and I decided to purchase the place.
So you went from employee to the business owner.
Yes.
And it's a family business. So what are some challenges or joys of having a family-run business?
Well, the joy is in that you know that you have people that are going to have your back. So my mother is my partner, and then my brother-in-law works for us. It can be challenging to work with family. We have found that we have kind of our own lane. So I know what I'm good at, and I mainly run the production side and the graphics. My mom's over all of the business, and she writes up a lot of the orders and the billing and stuff.
Tell us about your customers.
A lot of our shirts are event shirts. Even though we are a small town printer in a small shop, we ship shirts all over and print for all over the U.S.
And I think your reputation in this industry is more of high-end artwork. How does that happen? I know you're responsible for a lot of that, right?
Yes, I mainly do all of the graphics here at the shop, and that's one thing I wanted to do when we took over the business. I wanted to be a high-end printer. I wanted to take jobs that other shops wouldn't take. So I tell everybody, you know, we are more a high-detailed work. We want to do the stuff that other shops don't want to do.
You've invested the time and training and to learn how to do that?
Yes, that was one of the first things that I told my mom when we took over, that I wanted to make sure that I took classes and I learned from the best. So luckily I have worked with some of the best in the industry. I got to meet you, and you know, it's really helped us improve our printing and make it what we are today.
I'm with Melissa Williams, who is the other co-owner here at Replica Screenprinting. What's it like to work here and be in business with your daughter?
Heather and I bought the business kind of spur of the moment, and when we bought it I thought, well, I'll just do the accounting on the weekends. And in about 4 months we had to find a different location because she had grown the business, and since then she has just continually been out in the public. I know that Heather is my daughter, but I have to say she is the greatest graphic designer in this area. And you can guarantee that our shirts are gonna be spot on, the detail's gonna be great.
How important is an event like Cars and Coffee to revitalize your area?
Cave City is right next to Mammoth Cave National Park. When I was a teenager, this was a thriving community with the tourism. So we're trying to get back our community like it was, have tourism, have businesses come back in and be a vital part of our community.
Our event is cars and a coffee, and we also have music, and we wanted to bring in our Mammoth Cave ties along with one of our historic sites with the wigwams. So all of that is in this design. And this design covers a lot of the shirt, but we're using a woodcut etching type of design, and that gives us a really cool feel.
How many colors is it?
This is a 5-color design. This design has a lot of thin lines. So to do that, we have to have great mesh. So we are using a hydro mesh. We're using a 158 for our underbase. And then the other colors that are setting on top of that, they're done in a hydro mesh that's a 230.
Tell us about what we're printing on today.
So we wanted to give the customers that really soft shirt. So today we're using JERZEES Premium Blend. The product that we're doing today, it is a wood grain effect using a lot of little lines that gives a lot of detail. And that's something that a lot of other shops could not do. So we are going to see the process of how the art was designed. This was art that we purchased, but I still had to tweak the underbase. The job did not have an underbase coming in. So since we're printing on a black shirt, we have to make an underbase to make everything register correctly.
Great, let's go take a look at the artwork.
All right, sounds good.
To achieve more depth and dimension, one great tip is to use a woodcut effect. That way you don't have to worry about halftone dot gang. The gang at Replica Screenprinting uses this technique for great success. We're where the creative magic happens here at Replica, so Heather, tell us about the artwork and what you've got to do to get it ready to print.
We had a conversation with the group about how we wanted to go along with this job. Did we want bold colors? Did we want more muted? We decided that since last year we had all of these bright bold colors, that this year we wanted to do a more muted design.
And the colors that you're using, did you use the Pantone book to figure it out, or using stock colors? What are you doing there?
We usually mix a lot of our own colors, so all of these colors are Pantone colors that we chose. We've been working on this job. I reached out to the artist about a month out, and we did the concept. And then he sent me the files. He built an Illustrator. I personally like to do steps in Photoshop, so I had to take that file into Photoshop to create my channels and my underbase. And then we'll send that to the CTS machine. I usually will start and get screens ready for a job like this about a week out, just so I have everything ready to go.
And because you're using your CTS, that's Tri-Lock ready because it's the same system built inside, so it sets it up quickly.
Yes, when the screens come from the CTS machine to the Tri-Lock system on the press,
right,
everything should match up, and it's just micro adjustments from there. So this is kind of how the artwork came in. We had a lot of bold colors, and we didn't want that in the design. So we took our palette and muted all of the colors down. The other thing we had to do would be an underbase. So originally the file came in with the white without an underbase. So when I turn the red on, there is no white under the red. So in our final product, this is kind of how our white underbase is. A great tip to avoid having your white underbase peeking out from your design is to choke it back 2 pixels. We have found that that works best for our press.
I'm with Tony Hayes, who's the screen printer here at Replica Screenprinting. So Tony, how long have you worked here?
Worked here going on 8 years. Family-owned business. I work with family. That's my favorite part. I'm the screen printer. I set up the jobs mostly, print the jobs, take them down.
How do you get jobs up and down quickly? Is there a trick or a technique you use?
We always get organized the day before, get all the screens ready. We use a Tri-Lock system, so every screen locks in the same position every time. We're printing cars and coffee today, the local car show that they do here in town. Since we got the new CTS machine, it wasn't real challenging to set up. It saves me a lot of time from having to do minor adjustments.
How long does it take to set up a job like this?
From start to finish, about 30 minutes from putting the ink in the screen all the way until it's ready to print.
We're going to set up the job, so we are going to use our Tri-Lock system. And Tony's going to be registering everything in. So the Tri-Lock system goes off of a 3-point system. We have the same peg system set up on our CTS machine. The Tri-Lock system gives us a really tight registration. That way we only have to do micro adjustments. So now, because we have the Tri-Lock system, he can really set up this color in seconds. Today we are running our Cars and Coffee shirt. We are starting with our underbase. Our underbase is using a 158 hydro mesh, thin thread, and that gives us a really tight underbase that will hold good registration for the other colors. We have a lot of little bitty lines holding a lot of detail, giving a bunch of different color variations. Our white, since it's in a 158 hydro, we're hitting that twice to give a good base because we're not doing a white highlight. Our other screens, since they're at 230, that's a thin thread. Thin thread allows the ink to go through and puts down a lot of coverage. So we're only hitting those colors once in a really fast squeegee, and that gives a decent amount of ink down, but it doesn't give it a really heavy feel. So since we're printing on this really soft shirt, we don't want a bulletproof print. So we achieved that with the way we set up the job. So after the underbase, we go to our flash. So we flash it just a couple of seconds just to cure that ink to give us a good print surface. So after our flash, we go to the roller frame, and that gives us a nice smooth surface and pushes down all the fibers to give us a nice clean print. So after we roll all of the fibers down, we go to our red. And our red, we're using a 484. These are all custom mixed colors. So we're hitting special Pantone colors for the job. With me being a designer, I'm always pushing the limits. So unfortunately, probably guys don't like it as much, but we use a lot of PMS colors. So we're always mixing new PMS colors. So our next color is a 7509. It is a mustardy yellow color, and we're going with a really muted palette on this print. This year is completely different, so we know we'll sell a ton of shirts at the events. So our next color is a dusty blue. It's one of my favorite colors. It is a PMS 5405, and that is going to give us the subtle blues in the design. So last is our black. So the black being used, we won't print it on the black shirts, but since it's an event shirt, we like to give a couple of different options. So we're also going to be printing a gray shirt later. So the black gives us the little details that we need that would show up on the black shirt, but not on the grays. So in our shop, we print a lot of 50-50 shirts, just like this Jerzees premium blends. We don't have to change our dryer settings very much. With a 50-50 blend, we do run the belt a little bit faster just to make sure that we're not scorching the shirts.
Heather, your team crushed it today. I love how the shirt turned out. It came out fantastic.
Yes, I love the quality of the shirt. Using the Jerzees premium blend is perfect for this design. It's a great shirt that customers are going to love.
I really love the woodcut illustration. The colors are great. The whole print just came out fantastic. So do you think you'll sell any of these?
I think we're going to be printing this multiple times through the season.
That's what you want, right?
Yes.
Awesome. So Heather, can I take one of these?
I'll arm wrestle you for it.
Okay.
All right.
Ow!
Sorry.